Forecast, mostly sunny skies today, temperatures near 70, comfortable winds and humidity. It'll be cool tonight, mostly clear, 40 to 45, mostly sunny tomorrow, about 70 to 75. And Wednesday should be partly to mostly sunny in the mid to upper 70s, and more the same expected for Thursday. Jonesboro's community radio station, we're KLEK 102.5 FM.
From Feature Story News in London, I'm Ollie Barrett. Iraqi government troops say they've taken control of a military base, an oil and gas field and a state-owned oil firm's offices outside the disputed city of Kirkuk. Catalonia's president says he'll suspend the movement to separate from Spain for 2 months. British Prime Minister Theresa May is dining with EU leaders in Brussels later. And a woman's died and 120,000 homes are without power in Ireland as a storm hits the British Isles.
It's 9:01.
Community Conversations is brought to you by Arkansas Early Learning, offering no-cost childcare in Jonesboro and Northeast Arkansas. Applications at arearlylearning.org.
Arkansas Early Learning is a nonprofit organization.
KLEK LP Jonesboro, the voice of Arkansas Minority Advocacy Council. It's now time for Community Conversations, a program focusing on the people working to make the Jonesboro community a better place, while offering viewpoints from all sides of the issues. The views expressed in this program are those of the participants and do not necessarily reflect the views of KLEK 102.5 FM, the voice of Arkansas Minority Advocacy Council, or our underwriters or sponsors.
Good morning, everyone out there, and happy Monday to you. I hope that you're having a great start to this chilly morning. I hope that you're making plans to make today great in spite of this cold weather. All right, so you're tuned in to Community Conversations on KLEK 102.5 FM. I'm your host, Quabila Hardin, and my special guests today are Dr. Marty Allen from Arkansas State University's Museum. We have Ms. Jill Carey, also from the Arkansas State University Museum, and we have Dr. Amy Pierce from the Psychology Department, Professor of Psychology. So good morning, ladies.
Good morning.
So this morning they're going to be talking about several things. Today is an abbreviated show, so I hope that you are listening and taking notes. Today, first we're going to start talking about the 2017 Arkansas Science Festival that is coming up starting on the 19th. So let's talk about what people can expect during this Science Festival.
Thanks so much, Ms. Quabila, and thank you for having us here today. This will be the fourth year for the Arkansas Science Festival, and we invite the community to come out and celebrate science with us. We've got a full slate of events lined up for the community. The first one, as you say, begins on this Thursday, October 19th, and it's going to be a workshop dedicated to people who are trying to tame their busy mind. I mean, we all have a lot of stress in our lives, a lot going on. And if we want to try to find a way to channel, our nervous or tense energy and really, kind of take control of our thoughts and our mind, then this workshop, might be for some of your listeners. It's called Mindfulness Through Body Awareness. And there are two workshops. One begins at 5:30 and the other begins at 7. And it's going to be hosted on the campus of Arkansas State University inside the Student Union. So totally free. And again, if a participant wants to come and learn how to relax and tame their busy mind, this workshop is for them. It's hosted by an expert in this area, Dr. Irina Kramtsova. She's well published in the area of mindfulness, and she'll walk a small group through this very kind of relaxing and active workshop.
I've actually had the pleasure of meeting with her, and I loved her discussion.
Yeah, she's been on this show.
Yes.
Yeah, and she's a great supporter of the Arkansas Science Festival. And pre-registration, however, is recommended. So again, it's free, but we just want to know that you're coming because seating is limited. And to register, you can call 870-972-3064 and just let the person that answers the phone know that you're interested in that Mindfulness Through Body Awareness workshop. workshop, and we'll get back with you. And then on Friday, we've got 2 great events coming up, and I'm so glad that Marty and Jill are here because they're going to tell you more about one of those. But I'll tell you about the one of them called Kevin Delaney. He's coming to Fowler Center, and he is going to present 2 shows at Fowler Center. And some of you might have heard of Kevin Delaney, or maybe even seen him. He is a science demonstrator, and he's out of the Museum of Discovery. Or was out of the Museum of Discovery, but now he's kind of on his own because he's a rising star in the state of Arkansas in terms of science communication. He's got a regular spot on The Tonight Show, starring on The Tonight Show starring Jimmy Fallon, and he's going to be here with us to explode some things on stage.
Wow.
And we are so excited about him coming here. We've been trying to get him here for a couple of years now, and this is the first opening that he's had that has allowed it to happen. So he's got his first show at 10:30, and that show is actually sold out. So we have over 900 people from area schools coming to that 10:30 a.m. show. And then he's got another show at 1 o'clock. There are some seats still remaining for the 1 p.m. show. So I would encourage your listeners, to maybe take a late lunch on Friday and come and join us at Fowler Center. Tickets range, if any of your listeners work for Arkansas State University, they're just $5 for the 1 p.m. show.
Okay.
If you know groups that want to get together, like church groups, other community groups that want to get together, well, there are discounts available for groups of 15 or more. And tickets are just $6 each. And then if you don't fit either of those categories, then if you're a student, you might pay $8, but the most you would ever pay for one of these tickets for Friday would be $10. So it's very reasonably priced, and it's going to be exciting, it's going to be explosive, and it's just going to be what Kevin calls awesome science.
Awesome science. Okay.
Yeah. So please come out and join us. And then Jill and Marty will tell you about the program that they are going to host between Kevin's 2 shows, and that is Crazy Science.
Yes, well, Crazy Science is going to be so exciting. Throughout the museum, we'll have some crazy science activities going on. I believe we have about 12 things to do for people who want to just come on in and do some experiments. This is all hands-on, so you don't have to just watch someone else do science. You can actually get your hands in there and actually do something and watch the science happen in front of your eyes. So one of the reasons why we called it Crazy Science is because the things that we have chosen are from the Steve Spangler experiments that he does. And these things just kind of leave you scratching your head. I mean, you're like, how in the world did that happen? And that is just way too amazing. So
give us an example, Jill, of something they're going to do.
One thing that really blew me away was one thing that he calls nails for breakfast. And
this is truly crazy, everybody.
Totally
Get ready.
Crazy science. Here we go. So you can take total cereal, put it in a Ziploc bag with water, and let it sit for about 30 minutes. Then if you take a very pretty strong magnet, you slosh the cereal around with your hand, put the magnet on top of the bag, flip the bag over and let it sit for a second, flip it back, pull off the magnet, you'll see iron actually on top of that bag in a little group, little black pieces of iron. This is metallic iron.
Oh, wow. That we're having for breakfast.
Yes.
We're actually eating nails for breakfast and didn't know it. Is that what you're saying, Jill?
Yes, that's what I'm saying. So that's the public will get to actually do that activity. They get to do that with total cereal in a bag.
And this one of many.
Yes, that's one of many of the. This is just an example of some of the things we'll be bringing to you.
So we can't tell you all of the good things that are going to happen. So you got to go out and see the show.
Yeah, and that's free, isn't it?
Oh, all free. Yes.
Okay.
We just hope to see a lot of folks come out to see us, and it's between 11 and 2.
Okay.
Yes. So, yes, we'll be shutting down around 2 o'clock. So if anybody wants to just come between those 2 times, it's great. If you'd like to go see Kevin Delaney at 10:30. Then after his show, come on over to the museum. If you want to come to the museum early to see the afternoon show, come early and do some crazy science that gets you thinking scientifically, and then go over and see Kevin.
Yeah.
Okay.
This is one of the reasons why we planned our times the way we did.
Okay.
We want to partner with Kevin Delaney. He's so awesome.
And so there's enough to do in that time frame. No one should be bored. So
Right.
from one show to the next, your choice.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And so, what's the next one?
Well, the Arkansas Science Festival will culminate with one of its largest events, and that's going to be Science Expo. This is the return of the Science Expo, actually. We had a Science Expo our first year, and then in the past 2 years, we've done something different called a Science Fun Night, and now we're going to come back to the Expo just to change things up a little bit. We are thrilled that we're going to be inside the new Student Activity Center for the Expo, and that is the indoor practice field or the athletic field that's just north of the Centennial Bank football stadium.
Okay.
And so with the Science Expo, we're going to have a lot of businesses, corporations, organizations, and they're going to provide interactive exhibits and activities for science lovers of all ages. Right now we have over 30 different activity booths lined up for Science Expo. ASU Museum, they will join us again on that Saturday. And in addition, we also have a Lego users group joining us. We have the Arkansas Geological Survey. We have the Society for Neuroscience. We have the Marine Sciences represented. We have several groups, like a group from the University of Arkansas for Medical Sciences, or UAMS, joining us. We also are going to have robots and weather balloons and a blimp and live music and, you know, a big chess set. Yes, there's going to be a lot going on. So this event, Science Expo, is again totally free, and it's open to the public, and it is going to have something for people of all ages and all interests. And it'll be from 10 a.m. until 2 p.m., again, inside the new Student Activity Center. So it's going to happen, rain or shine.
All right. You might have more grown kids than little kids.
Well, we hope so. I mean, we've been collecting some, survey data across the years, and there are a lot of adults that will come on their own. So that we found that quite a high percentage of adults will come without children, and that is wonderful because, again, there is something there, for everyone. It's not just, families with children that this appeals to, but, if you really want to learn about, a robot and how to program it, or what kind of the science suggests, well, this is a place for you to see that. If you want to learn about satellites and weather balloons and a little bit of physics, well, this is the place to come. And it's a very informal setting, so it's not inside a classroom, for example, and it's a very exciting format. And again, it's something that's going to be a bit novel and different and stimulating. So come on out.
I think another really interesting thing about your Science Expo on Saturday is that it's a great opportunity for intergenerational learning, isn't it?
Yes.
Because, we know kids love it. We've just heard adults love it.
Mm-hmm.
How about coming to do it together and having fun together?
Yeah, that's great. Thanks, Marty.
That is awesome. And even if there's a bigger gap in the generation, like grandparents and children, the grandparents can teach the child what they knew or what they learned back then, and they can intertwine their knowledge and experience.
You're absolutely right, Quabella. And in fact, that's a great experience when the grandparents come. We've seen that in the museum, haven't we, Jill?
Awesome.
That's a really fun time for grandparents and the grandkids.
Wow, that is amazing. So again, this is the 2017 Arkansas Science Festival, starting October 19th through the 21st. I will make sure to post these dates and activities on our social media pages so people will know in advance when they are, so they can mark their calendars. We want you to go out to every single day, every single event, and I'm sure you'll have lots of fun.
We certainly hope so. And for those listeners out there that are on Facebook, you can just search Arkansas Science Festival on Facebook, and you'll find our Facebook page, and it has all of our events listed.
Alrighty. Well, thank you so much for that, Dr.
Thank you.
Pierce. All right, so we have some other information to discuss concerning the Arkansas State University's museum. What's going on there?
Well, in addition to this wonderful science whoop-de-doo that's coming up, this is going to be really fun. Actually, this week at ASU Museum, we are installing a new exhibit for kids called Imaginate, and that opens on Saturday also.
Okay.
So, although you have more than one day to go to Imaginate, it'll be up for about 5 months. And Imaginate is one of our hands-on exhibits from the Arkansas Discovery Network. It's pretty wild fun. We've got there's a lot of activity stations where you can do crazy things like one of my favorite things is a stop-motion animation where you can make your own films. I once did that. They had to drag me away. It was so much fun, and I'm like so proud of the little thing that I made. Okay, so I'm not going to go into details, but you can make your own movies.
Oh, wow.
And then. Also, there's this like big room you can go into and slam your hands against the wall. All these colors come on, and you get music.
Oh,
So
wow.
you can use light in your hands to make your different kinds of music. Lots of different riffs or whatever you can choose from. And then one that Jill, I think, is kind of attracted to is the paper airplanes, which you get to throw them through this weird tunnel-like thing, and it's very fun to see if your design is faster than somebody else's.
Yes.
I have a story about that too, if you don't mind, with
Sure.
the paper airplanes. So my daughter, last year at 11 years old, she was fascinated.
At our Tinkerfest is what you're talking about.
No, she for her science fair project, she did a project on paper airplanes and made over 12 different styles of airplanes. And yes, well, there are many more than 12, but she stopped at 12, I think, just because she got tired of folding. But she tested, how the designs and how far each, plane would fly, and ended up doing really well in that science fair. But the kids absolutely loved it. They were drawn to those paper airplanes. And again, all of the design possibilities and, just the aerodynamics of them. So that really will be a draw.
Who knew that there was so much engineering and conceptual creativity going into these paper airplanes? When I was doing them as a child, I didn't realize I was a genius, right?
Yes, and it's all about physics, engineering. You can throw a lot of things in creativity, art. Yes, it covers a lot of areas.
Oh, wow. And so what else can we expect to see at the
ASTATE
museum? I'm so sorry.
Well, I tell you what, we
We have Day of the Dead coming up.
And I
Dia
know,
de los Muertos.
and I know that's a really big festival event.
Yes, it's a celebration
Okay.
of this very traditional day among Latinos and Hispanics. It's going to be November 2nd at the museum from
5 to 7.
5 to 7, thank you. And this is a yearly event for us. It's one of our favorites because you can come in with your kids, your family. You can make these really neat, colorful paper flowers. We have dancing and music. We have trick-or-treating,
Face painting.
games involving skeletons. Now, a lot of people don't understand that all these skeletons, it's not macabre. It's not scary. They're hilarious. They do all these comical things. They're comedians, really. So that'll be fun coming up here in a couple of weeks. Looks like we've got a real crowding of very popular and fun events coming up here. It's true. It's going to happen. We're going to have a lot of fun this next month.
I hope that people really take advantage of what you all have to offer. I think the library and the museum are two of the most underutilized and I don't want to say underappreciated, but underutilized spaces that have a lot to offer. A lot of exciting things, a lot of information, a lot of, just amazing things on display. Just your everyday exhibits along with your rotating exhibits. So please go out to the Arkansas State University Museum. Can you tell people where it's located on campus?
Okay, well, the museum, if you know where the clock tower is, if you can find that clock tower on campus, then you've found the museum.
Okay.
We share the building with the Dean B. Ellis Library. They're at ASU, and we're there on one side, we're on the other side.
Okay.
So
There's a big parking lot there.
Yes.
So when you see that clock tower, there's a big old parking lot there, and there's visitor parking places for people to park.
Yes.
And what are your opening hours?
Well, we're open from Monday through Friday, 9 to 5. Also, Saturdays, 10 to 5. And Tuesday nights, we're open until 7.
Okay. So there are times available throughout the day and the afternoon that people can go out and enjoy the museum. Take the kids, take the whole family. Now, what about flash photography or anything like that? Is that allowed?
Well, we allow people to take pictures, but with no flash.
No flash?
Yes.
Just to protect the items that are...
Right.
And only for personal use. So
Okay.
if people want a really good photograph, they should come and talk to us in advance. We'll make sure they get a good photograph. They need to
Okay.
have a publication.
Okay. Alrighty, so we have the Science Festival coming up. We have the Imaginate exhibit coming up. We have the Day of the Dead event, festival, celebration. I'm sorry, I don't know
It
exactly
could be
which
all
time.
of that.
Okay.
Festival, it's a festival and a celebration, yeah.
I want to really encourage everyone to do some research on the Day of the Dead. I'm sorry, I can't say the Spanish term for it.
Dia de los Muertos.
And I need to really practice that because I'm taking Spanish this semester. Oh my God.
Oh, yes.
So I need to start practicing that. But there is a story behind this festival. And it, like you said, it's not a sad and morbid one. It's, sorry for the static. It's not a sad or morbid story. It's an actual, there's something more.
There's a celebration of those who have gone on. One of the things that we'll have is it's what they call an altar, but some Mexican, I want to say children, they're not children, young adults will be putting this together for us. So,
And it's a place where you can remember your deceased loved ones.
yes.
So
Okay.
it's like All Saints Day kind of thing, where you actually
Similar to All
celebrate
Saints.
their lives and
Yeah.
go to the cemetery even if you want and have picnics. It's a very different kind of event.
Okay. I apologize for the static. We have like 2 minutes left, so any final highlights for these different events that are coming up that you all would like to express?
Let's remind them of when everything will be.
Okay.
So with the Arkansas Science Festival, it's going to start this Thursday, October 19th, with the first event being a small workshop on mindfulness through body awareness. There are 2 workshops, one at 5:30 and the other at 7. Both are free and led by an expert in mindfulness. And to register for those workshops, just call 870-972-3064 or look for the Arkansas Science Festival and this event on Facebook and just message us and we will get you signed up for either the 5:30 or the 7. Then on Friday, October 20th, we have 2 performances by Kevin Delaney. The first one at 10:30 and the other at 1. And I should have mentioned that these will run about 30 to 40 minutes in length. So if you're trying to plan your time, that's what you should keep in mind. And tickets run between $5 and $10. To get tickets to Kevin, you can call the ASTATE Central Box Office at 870-972-2781. That's the ASTATE Central Box Office. Or again, just look for the Arkansas Science Festival on Facebook and message us and we'll help you get your tickets. And then in between Kevin's shows, we have Crazy Science at the ASU Museum between 11 a.m. and 2 p.m. That is completely free. And it's going to offer lots of hands-on activities and you'll just walk away wanting to learn more. And then finally, the Arkansas Science Festival is going to close with the Science Expo at the new Student Activity Center on the campus of Arkansas State University. The Science Expo will open at 10 o'clock and close by the sound of bagpipes at 2.
That should
Yeah.
be fun.
So come on out and join us for over 30 interactive science, technology, engineering, and math exhibits, free to the
Thank you for
public.
listening to Community Conversations on KLEK 102.5 FM, a program focusing on the people working to make the Jonesboro community a better place while offering viewpoints from all sides of the issues. The views